G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm going to do my giant frog mold today. And I did get a marker and I just drew around on the outside of the eye because I didn't want to put the eyes into like the eyebrows. So if I do it like that, I can see, you can sort of see the black ring from inside. So that's what I did. And look, I bought some marbles. And I thought it might be fun just to put marbles in him or her. And they've got like little lines in them. So, and I've picked these eyes because they're sort of, well, they're green and orange, and we've got some greens and orange in here, and I thought that just would be cute. So what I've done, I've decided I want them this way up. I don't know which is the correct way, but I've decided that way up. So what I've done is I put a little dot at the top so I know which way to place them, and I'm going to use some UV resin from Resin. So you've seen me do this before, so if you don't want to see it again, feel free to fast forward. Now because the frog is upside down, I need to, like, I know that's the top, but because the frog's upside down, I need to put it upside down so that when you unmold, that will be the top. Know what I mean? Like that. So you got to remember to do that because it's upside down. Alrighty, let's do this. So we're just going to pop probably 2 drops in there. Coming to the end of the bottle, so I should hold it down a bit. And I'm just going to try and spread that resin around. Now I am using the 14mm ones. These are kind of dragon eyes, these ones. Pretty cool. Oh, that one's nice too. Look at that one. I like that one too. Next time. So anyway, 14mm glass eyes. Gosh, putting it down while talking to you and the resin fell out. Oh gosh, it can't take me anyway. Right, let's just get that little bit out that dripped. And I can see there's a little bubble in there. Just gonna take that bubble out. Okay, I think we're good now. I mean, it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of UV resin on the side because I'm going to fill this with clear resin anyway. Alrighty, so let's get the eye in. So I'm going to hold it like that so we don't let the resin run out. And remember, the dot is going towards the top. Hopefully you can see it. It's not quite where I want it, so I'll just use the toothpick just to kind of move it around, put it where I want it. It's probably a little bit on the big side, this eye, the 14mm. I think a 12 would be better, but I don't have any 12s. I do have 10s, but they're a little bit on the small side. So we're just going to go with the 14. So make sure, because the actual eye may not touch the mold, make sure that you've just got enough resin in there so that you don't have any sort of gap between the eye and the mold, and then give it a good little push. All right, so I'm using my Resin UV lamp here, and I am going to go from underneath first because I don't want to dislodge that, and then I'll turn it over and I'll do this side as well. So I'm going to do like 2 minutes on each side, and I'm going to do the other eye and mix up my resin. Because what I think I'm going to do, because the marbles, they're quite heavy, I was sort of thinking to myself, if I just put down clear resin and then put the marbles in, will the marbles drop through the resin and sort of sit on the mold? So then when I unmold the piece, the marbles might actually be sticking out through the top of the resin. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, to combat that, just in case that happens, I'm going to put a little bit of clear resin in first, and then and when it gets a bit sort of tacky or jelly, then I will add the marbles. That way they won't sink. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Do you think they would sink? Yeah, I'm kind of a bit worried that they might. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to finish both eyes, and I'm going to mix up my resin. I'm just going to use the Let's Resin regular resin for the base. I'm not going to worry about a deep pour. I'm just going to do it with just a couple of layers of the Let's Resin regular resin, but I'll show you the bottle when I come back. All right, see you soon. Right, that is done. I've done both of those little eyes. They're in there. And I have mixed up my resin. Because it's starting to get cooler now in Australia, when I pour my resin in, it's like, you can feel that it's quite thick because it's cold. So what I do is I put my cup of resin in my microwave. Now I've got just a little microwave in my studio that I only use for resin. So if I only have a little bit of resin, I would give it 5 seconds. If I have like more, it's just over half a cup, I'll give it 10 seconds. And that just thins it out and makes it a little bit easier for the bubbles to come out. Give that a bit of a blow. Now I've probably got way too much here, but that's okay. I'm going to pour it onto the stick and then let it run down. That way I'm not splashing and creating bubbles, because I've just put the resin in my Let's Resin debubbling machine, and I don't want more bubbles. So what do we here? I think I'll just leave it. It's just to the bottom of that leg there. It hasn't gone up the leg. The eyes are a little bit covered. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I've got a lot of resin left. I'm going to have to make some puffy hearts. Oh, what a shame. So anyway, this is the resin. That's A, that's B. It's the Let's Resin, just the regular epoxy resin. It's not the deep pour, it's not the fast cure that I use for the blooms, it's just the regular one. Now this one you can pour 2.5 centimeters or an inch deep. So, but because I only want to put a thin layer in now, I'll leave that. And then I'll come back and I'll do probably another layer. Actually, let's have a look, see how deep that is. Yeah, it's going to be 3.5 centimeters if I do the next layer. So I probably need to do that in another 2 layers. So this layer, when it's a bit sort of tacky, I can put the marbles in. If they sink a little bit, that's okay. I just don't want them dropping straight through, like I said earlier. So that's what we're going to do. And then when I come back, I'll talk about what I'm going to do. I'm going to color the feet. And then we're just going to have clear resin. And I think that'll look really nice. If you wanted to, you could put a light in it. That would look really cool as well for a kid's room, like a little night light. And the marbles will, maybe I'll do that. The marbles should hopefully kind of cover the little light that you put in. And because they're clear and they've got the lines through it, might give a really cool effect as well. So I'll have a think about it. I'll see what I've got in the way of lights. All right, I'm going to mix this with some black. Got some Let's Resin black here. Give that a bit of a squeeze, put some black in it. I'll go and find some glitter, and I'll make up some puffy hearts. And I just use those as just little giveaways, little thank yous when people buy a few of my molds. If I've got any left, I'll pop them in. So I'll go and see what I've got. All right, I'll see you in a couple of hours. Hopefully this will be ready for the marbles. Right, it's only been about an hour, and you can see that, well, maybe you can, I don't know. When I put my little toothpick in, it kind of leaves a point, which is staying there. So I think I had better get these marbles in. Alrighty. I'm just going to kind of pour them in, like so. These ones I just got from Amazon. There we go. Now I'm going to push that. I want an orange one in that corner there, so I need to, they're all kind of stuck now, stuck in resin. So I'm just going to pop that there and push it. Again, gotta be careful I don't dislodge those eyes. What can I use? I can just use this, I guess. Just get it in there. And then a green one on that side, because I want them to sort of go up into the nose here. And then a blue. There we go. Right, pretty happy with that. See, but putting these marbles in too will reduce the amount of resin we're going to need. I think that'll do. I don't need to use that other one as well. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I don't think you need to. How's that? Didn't really want them in the leg. Don't know if I can get it out of the leg though. I didn't really want them in the leg. I can just move them a little bit so that they're out of the leg, like so. How's that? All right, hopefully they'll stay there. All right, it's looking good. Oh, you want to fall down. Okay, you can fall down just there, that's okay. I mean, you could if you wanted to, you know, fill them a little bit more, but I want to leave the legs clean. I did just pop the back on to tilt it forward, just on a few pop sticks, just to sort of tilt it to get the resin to sort of run into the nose there a little bit. All right, so that's that done. Now there's a little bit of resin that I can see that's gone into that leg there, and I just want to get that out because I want to dust into that leg. Okay, that'll do. I think that'll do. All right, now I'm going to let that cure a little bit more, and when I come back to it, we'll dust the feet. And I'm going to use, I thought I'd use this holographic glitter. There's 6 different colors in there, and you know, because I'm doing sort of blues and greens and things, I've gone with this aqua blue. So I think that'll look pretty. I'm going to dust that, but I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to wait for the resin to cure up. There's an extra bag for another time. All right, I'll get cleaned up, and I'll see you in another hour, and we'll do the next layer. Right, it's time to do the glitter. And I think everything's pretty much, it's still a tiny bit sticky, like it's not leaving a train, but it's still a tiny bit sticky, which is a good time to do your next layer, because if you leave your first layer until it's like rock hard, when you pour your next layer on, you can generally see a join around. So it is good if you can, you know, do your next layer while the resin's still a little bit on the soft side. Now this is going to be quite transparent. Oh gosh, look at that. See those dots? Now, you don't see them before, but you can certainly see them when you've got some glitter on there, and that's like little droplets of resin that I've dropped or that have like dried from the previous pour. But yeah, you just pick them out. So I'm going to need some tape to get in there, because yeah, you know, clear resin in the mold, it can be difficult to see, but once you've dusted, they're easy to see. A little blob of resin there, so best get them out. Now, as I was saying, I'm using clear resin in this, in the whole frog. I'm not going to put down a black background or anything like that. I'm just keeping it clear, so the glitter it's not a really opaque color, like, you know, like a chameleon powder. So I think it should look really nice. Let's get into all those little fingers and toes, get up the side there as well. Oops, don't knock the jar over. So I'm just going to do this with all of these. Hopefully there's no resin drips in here. Oh, there's one. See that there? Oh, it's still wet. Okay, so I've dripped it from this. We'll just pick it out and dust over it. Go up into those little toes. I will have to take it outside, just give it a blow with my little blower just to get all this excess powder out. Now, I did end up using that last little packet of marbles, not the whole packet, but I used probably half of that packet. I just sort of filled it up a little bit more. And I can get these. I couldn't decide if I wanted those in the leg or not. Kind of wanted to sit there on top. Anyway, that'll be all right. Okay, keep going. Up the side. Yeah, I couldn't decide if I wanted an extra little marble in there, but once it's got its little, once it's got that powder on there, you won't see, I don't think you'll see, oh, you might see if a marble falls down, but I'll try not to have it falling down. So anyway, I'm just going to finish this. I won't bore you while I'm finishing it off, and I'll mix up some more resin, just clear resin, and then I'll come back to you. Right, that is all done. I've got my resin here. It's the same as I used for the first layer, the Let's Resin, just the regular casting. I haven't put this in the debubbler though because it's too full. I probably should have done 2 smaller cups or 1 big one, but I figured because of all the marbles in there and the powder, if there are any little bubbles, I don't think we'll be able to see them, so I'm just going to leave it. Hopefully they'll come up to the surface anyway and I can pop them with some isopropyl. But I'm still going to pour in, just gently, onto the stick and let the resin cascade in and flow between all those marbles. I don't want any little gaps. Hopefully it's all going in here. Again, I don't want to push anywhere near the eyes because if you push on the mold, the eyes can just pop out. But I just want to make sure I'm getting it sort of in there under that little chinny chin. I decided not to put a light in after all. Well, that marble has fallen down. I don't want it to go there. Get back up where you belong, please. So I mixed up I think it was about 210 grams of A and 200 grams of B. There's a couple of bubbles popping up, so hopefully they will. So yeah, I wasn't exactly sure how much to use because, you know, the marbles in there have displaced what I would pour in as resin. So yeah, probably don't need all that much. But I will fill it as full as I can because as the resin cures, it kind of shrinks away from the sides. So you're going to make sure that you've filled it as much as you can. Get down marble. But obviously you don't want to overflow it. Okay, so I didn't need all that. Kind of forgot that I had to leave, well, that I had all those marbles in there that would take up space. So there's a few little bubbles popping up on the top there, which is great. And I'm just going to spray them with my isopropyl. I'm not going to torch because there's not enough area. Like you could torch in the middle there, but if you try to torch sort of around here, there's too much silicone and you're going to burn your mold, and then it's going to fuse to your resin and you'll ruin your mold and ruin your piece. So don't do it. I've done it. I can tell you from experience. I was going to pop that, but it's gone. I can tell you from experience that don't do it. I learned the hard way. All right, now you can sort of just tilt the feet with this little piece that's underneath, depending on, you know, which way you want your resin to flow. You can just sort of tilt it. I think we're good. I don't think I can put any more in. Let's try those little feet. I think they're pretty much full. Trying to get as much as I can into these little toes. All right, I think that's it. I don't think I should push my luck any further, or I might burst the banks and it'll overflow. So we'll just leave it like that. All righty, so this shouldn't take too long to cure. There's some bubbles coming up. I can see them popping their way up, which is great. I'll just encourage them to come into the middle there. But I will come back and check it. I'll leave it now. I'll come back in about 10 minutes and just check it, see if there's any more bubbles. And then I can just either spray them or... Oh, there comes another one. Hello. Hi. Okay, your days are numbered. There he goes. So yeah, I'll come back in about 10 minutes and just see if there's any other bubbles to take care of. But otherwise, I'll see you... Oh gosh, I think we're flooding. Yes. I filled that area a little bit much. There's another bubble. So yeah, like I said, I'll just keep an eye on these bubbles and just keep popping them as they come up. And we'll be good. So I will see you for the unmolding. It's the next day and it has cured. Toes are cured. The body will cure faster than the toes because it's deeper, so it cures faster. All right, let's do this. Get these little toes out. Hope it's going to look pretty. Get that out. All right, that's one little foot. Let's do the next one. It's not a difficult mold to unmold. Not like some, hey, some of them are really tricky. But this one's pretty easy, I think. All right, there we go. I'll just ease those off the front toes. I don't want to break a toe. All right, here we go. Now we're just going to pull this over the head. Like so. Oh, there we go. It's out, it's out. Let me fix my mold. I will link this mold for you down below. So it is in my Australian eBay store now for those people that are in the UK and couldn't get it from my Amazon store. It's in the eBay store and also for Australia if you want to buy that one. And it's also in my US Amazon store. So I'll link that for you. And I'll link Let's Resin as well for you down below. There's a coupon code as well there for their different sites. All right, there's a little bit of rough something there. I'll just get my nail file and just smooth that out. I think we're good there. All right. Oh, look, I can see through it. Yay. I mean, I knew I could, but all right. Let's have a look at the eyes first, shall we? The eyes have it. Oh gosh, there's a bubble in that eye. Oh my gosh. This one's good. This one's a good eye. Look at that. I thought I had got the bubbles out of the resin, but that's what happens if you don't get the bubbles out of your resin. Now, you can fix that. You can lightly sand. Actually, it depends if there's actually a hole there or not. Oh, yep, there's a little hole there. So what you could do is just lightly sand the surface there and pop some UV resin in it and just sort of rub it around like that, and then use your UV lamp on it and that will be good as new. So don't stress. All right. Are we ready for the reveal? Let's flip her over. Or is it a he because he's got blue feet? Ah, look at that. I love it. That looks so good. Oh, look at that. A well-positioned marble right in the end of the nose there. Love it. Oh, it's worked out so pretty. You could put dried flowers in there. You could put like an aquarium in there with little fish and pebbles on the bottom. So many things you could do with it. Hey, love it. And these legs have turned out really nicely with that little bit of holographic glitter on it. You can still see through them, and if you put your hand like that, it's more opaque, but you can definitely see through it. I'm just going to go and get a piece of black card. Put that underneath just to see as well what it looks like with some darker colour under it. There we go. What do you think? Let me know what you think of my froggy. I think I did pretty well with the bubbles actually. Love that eye. So pretty. All right, there we go. Another one bites the dust. My next video I'll probably continue with my range, my series I was doing with these Larimar blooms. I've got my other two colours sitting there ready and waiting. So we'll see how they turn out. But for today, it's early, Sunday morning. I've unmolded and I'm going to go and sit down and have my coffee. And enjoy my little froggy. Well, he's a big froggy. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again real soon for the next one. Okay, take care. Bye for now.